What's up guys, YST here and welcome to episode 3 of Secret Weapons, which is a series that I'm going to be breaking down all of the underrated nukers in this game. And third on the list, is it a bird? Is it a cold heart? No, it's Miss Lua herself from the Dark Elves faction, trying to shoot bows at you guys. She's like, stay away, because I've been slapping up those wanted posters all around Teleria, looking for the craziest nukers, and she's been one that's been put up everywhere. And then I had Gronja, who's one of those dwarfs. He came up to me like, YST, here you go, you need to be looking for her. We found her, and now we're going to see her potential. But alright guys, jokes aside, this champion is actually phenomenal for a bunch of players that are progressing through this game, and it all comes down to the value of her godlike multipliers all around the board. She has universal value for the Fire Knight, the Dark Fae, or whatever that may be, whilst also being a phenomenal epic nuker for the arena. So let's just go straight into the kit here. So on the A1 with the Splinter Arrow, she attacks one enemy and deals 50% of the inflicted damage to all enemies if this attack is critical. Now, it does have some good multipliers on this A1, but once it's reduced down to the 50% for the AoE, there's not a crazy amount of value off that, as those hits cannot become critical, therefore only the initial target is going to be taking the most of the damage, right? Then heading into the A2 on the Hail of Arrows, she attacks all enemies 3 times, which is actually pretty rare in itself. I think when we was doing a deep dive behind the scenes, there's not a bunch that have this capability. I believe it's around 9 or 10, with one of the highlights being Ethos, who's a Void Legendary, and she sits right below him in terms of damage output. And each critical hit will also heal this champion by 2.5%, which will be a 7.5% value granted that you get a critical hit on each of those hits. And this could have some value. Think about the faction wars progression, maybe using it in the Doom Tower or Arena if her health is a bit mitigated. And then last but not least, on this A3 with the Lucky Shot, she attacks one enemy and decreases the target's turn meter by 100% and will ignore shield and block damage buffs. Now this is where I was speaking about the Dark Fae, right? Because if you open up with Hail of Arrows, unfortunately I can't show this as that rotation isn't currently live, but you can kill your mirror copies, open up with this, and then you lead in with the Lucky Shot to gain turn meter control upon the boss. And this could actually have a lot of value as well for the Fire Knight, where you can crack the shield with a 3-time hitter and then lead into some turn meter control, or just anywhere where you kind of want these. But then when we refer to the arena now, this can one-shot 90% of the champions in the game, being the Void Affinity, so you're not granting those weak hits. We're ignoring shield for those protected champions. And also block damage, maybe if you're facing a Helicath, to take out one of those opponents that's just causing you the most trouble. When we talk about the gear that I'm using on this champion today, I've gone for a blend of lethal and perception to try and implement some accuracy stats into a build for some lower stages of the PvE content, but there is some small switches you can make if you want to use her in those higher floors. So what we're looking for here is crit rate, crit damage, speed and accuracy throughout all of the substats. We've got crit damage on the gauntlets, attack percent on the chest plate, and attack percent on the boots. Now I do highly recommend, if you guys are using it as a turn meter manipulator, you might want to go for speed on the boots and just remove some of that damage from the equation. And then also where I've got attack on the banner, maybe swapping this out for an accuracy one so you can actually reach those thresholds that you need to take on your encounters. We've got crit damage on the amulet, of course, and attack on the ring to amplify her damage, with an overall stat sitting at 31,000 HP, 6,500 attack, 1,900 defense, 179 speed, 100% crit rate, 245% crit damage, and decent accuracy to place that on some of those enemies in the arena that may be nukers without high resistance, or simply some of the floors in those dungeons. Masteries, we've gone for offense tree, heading down to the Helm Smasher, of course. Let me just move myself out of the way briefly. And then the defensive tree, trying to proc some counterattacks with Retribution when she loses specific amounts of HP, which can actually become very valuable, right? Now, I just want to briefly bring up the multipliers because I feel like it's very important to have a bit of a comparison of what you're looking at. So here is hellhades.com on the Lewis page. You can see on the A1 it's a 2.7 multiplier, which will go down to a 1.35 for the 50% of inflicted damage upon the first hit. The A2 of Hail of Arrows is a 1.4 godlike multiplier for that 3-time hitter. And then we've also got a 6 multiplier on that lucky shot. So you might be lucky and kill whoever you want to do with this single ability. And if we just take this off very briefly and put up an image that Saf managed to prepare for me, thank you so much. We've got a bit of comparisons to some other champions here. We've got Ethos at the top, of course, with his multipliers, right, is actually a 1.35 for his A2 triple hit, which is actually more than, or less than Lua's, being at 1.4. But because he gets 10% bonus damage from books, this is where he kind of surpasses her and deals more damage. But where she sits is just below Magna in terms of damage, and also just above Negorio, who was the recent champion that I did showcase. But just remember, she has got single target nukes, AoE nukes, and also heals herself. But she is easy to kill, being a squishy champion. So bear that in mind when you guys are selecting your epic nukers for your account, because someone like Magna is really going to perform very well for your team, being both tanky and dealing more damage than some upon this list, such as Gembo the Dishonored, right? But the A1 does actually sit at the bottom in comparison to the other skills that's listed above. So once we take this off now and go back to Lua, let's just go into a few areas of the game. We do have the faction wars currently in the game as well. So that's one of the main reasons I need to showcase her today. We're going to stage 21. We'll try and manipulate the boss's turn meter, of course. But I want to gain a bit of control over the torture helm. We puts that unkillable or block damage up. So maybe we need to take out Dark Kale maybe, and put in Rian the Conjurer. I'm not sure if she's got gear on, but we just need to be able to remove some of those buffs, right? Well, she's got some speed, so that's a bonus. But something there. Look at that AoE. Boom. Sit down. Kind of took away that opponent with that Rian the Conjurer. We're all good to go. Now here, I kind of want them to place the shield. Let's see if we can just kind of protect ourselves a little bit. I want to one-shot through the shield to show the value of this A3, because it ignores shield potential, right? So can we one-shot without increased attack on, raw damage? Let's go. So we did 50% of the HP under that shield and no increased attack, which is actually very valuable, right? Let's just keep our block buffs on this dude for now. Now we're going to try some drop defense and weaken on there. We can get counter-attacked, so no problem. We're going to get some increased attack on as well and see if we can penetrate with that A2. Block damage is on as well. That's not ideal here. It is not ideal. But what we're going to do is just slow them down a little bit. Of course, this can be full auto as well. Just trying to show the fundamentals of this champion through these waves. Just put a little fear on here. We don't want to get nuked, of course. Now, if we just do that other one where we do the surplus damage in a sense, we'll kill him, 70,000 HP. And of course, it was 0 damage under that block damage that's currently up. All right, everybody wants to attack Lua here. That's fine. That is fine. Now we want to take advantage and just remove some debuffs and stuff. Place an increased attack on. And we're going to come through with a provoke so they don't place any more shields. And now we're going to try and go for the money scaling ability and see her full potential in terms of wave clearing. All right, let's put a block buffs up somewhere. Who cares where it is? It's going on one of them at least. Put a block buffs on that one as well. So increase attack, drop defense and weaken. And we did a decent amount of damage there, right? Decent amount of damage. Nothing crazy. Why didn't she deal that much damage there? We got drop defense and weaken on. Does petrification mitigate damage? I can't remember. I can't remember, guys. There's so many buffs and debuffs in this game. All right. See that? The extra damage is not crazy at all. Man, this is taking longer than I expected. 135,000 damage coming out from Lucky Shot, and now we're going to be focusing on the boss itself and then controlling that turn meter, right? Every single time that we come around to that skill. But there we go. That's the damage we should have been seeing in that previous round, looking at around 150,000 without the increased attack on at the time, which is pretty decent, right? We've got some True Fears on there, some cleanses. Keep that turn meter down with Visix Stun Boat. I want to see Lucky Shot at least once. There we go. Cannot crit on that extra hit there, even though we got 100% crit rate. Drop defense and weaken. It's alright, you can go for her, no problems. Alright, 82,000 again. I don't really want to kill her. I want to see the actual value of that A2. We've got increased attack on. Let's keep that 10 meter down. Don't kill her. Alright, here we go. We managed to get to see it. Boom! 150,000 coming out from that A3 skill. And of course, did the most amount of damage throughout this team. Now, if we go into more of a traditional one on stage 20 and kind of show the same value, maybe we will take out... Actually, no, we'll just keep her in there. We'll do a super raid. I'll get some of my glyphs while I'm here. You know, 2 birds in 1 stone. We've got no presets, so it'll be interesting to see her actual what she's valuing more with her AI. Boom, clearing through them. What is that? 50,000 a hit, 57,000, looking at around 150k all around the board on each of those champions. Lucky shot, nice. That was no drop defense or weaken as well. Are you going to use the A1 now so we can see some of that extra damage that you do with the A1? Boom, 60,000, around 7,000 on the extra one. So, is what it is. But any damage is damage, right? I wonder how that kind of factors in with stun sets and stuff. Does that still have value? Probably does, right? But anyone that uses that in a stun set or something, definitely let me know. But the provokes going out. AoE damage, decent around the board, no drop defense, of course. She should have probably saved it for when that's active. Nice. It was around 9,000 on that one. Okay. And the final hit coming out from Mithrala Life Paint to whop it out. And no speed glyphs, of course, but once again, dealing the most amount of damage there. So, okay, next up, we're going to be going into a damage test. This is something I'm going to be doing throughout the whole of this series, guys. Mainly just to see and do some comparisons to everybody that makes it to the list. So we'll go here. And also, guys, let me know in the comment section, you did a phenomenal job on the last one of some champions that you feel should definitely make the list for the Secret Weapons series. We're going to start with this A3 first. We're going to kill this Tyrell. Boom, 293,000 damage, but I've definitely seen as high, when I was actually preparing this video, of more than that, depending on the procs of Helm Smasher. Got defense and weaken. We'll go back to that one again. Let's try this A2 first, though. 64,000, that's quite a lot. Add it all up, maybe close to 200,000 upon all of those hits combined. I'm going to try that A3 again and see if we can pump out some more damage. Now remember, I have implemented a bit of accuracy into this build. We're not above 7,000 attack, which I would be seeing closer to 400,000 to 500,000 that I've seen from beforehand. Here we go. 227,000. Let's try that one more time on a different target. I'm not sure which one has the least defense to get the best results out of, but maybe we can just gauge an estimate throughout these 3 attacks. Maybe we'll go for the Hoarding now. 304,000, something that I have been seeing around that 280 to 300,000 of those hits. Pretty decent in the build that we've got, right? So let's just go into the Spider's Den, because this can be a phenomenal place for players that do not have a second Cold Heart. Now, you're not going to be seeing the same damage output, of course, but if you simply need someone for 10 meter reduction, Lua can definitely fulfill that role for your team, and it's going to become really helpful for you, right? So I've put this team together for you guys with Artak. It's not a crazy, incredible team, but what I've done is I've locked off the AoE because I just want to use her Lucky Shot ability to coincide with my Cold Heart, right? We don't have a lot of accuracy here. Hopefully it actually will come into effect. And boom, stun sets go out, Purify going out, Heartseeker going through, and we got resisted, unfortunately. But maybe, do you know what? Maybe it'll be better if I put some accuracy on. Let's see what she does on this next one. The Heartseeker. And we get some luck here. There we go. All right. At least we managed to show it a little bit. So basically can work as your second turn meter champion to mitigate as much turn meter as possible to clear up these waves. And then before you know it, the boss is going to take a turn. There's a lot of burns up on the boss, and there we go. So 40 seconds with a team like this, for anybody that doesn't have a second cold heart, can definitely fulfill that role for turn meter reduction. And of course, you'll see a better value on stage 20, where it's not capped in terms of how much you can deal. But you could simply, if you want to actually kill the spiderlings and that's what's dealing your issue, then you could definitely go that route. But with the implementation of Artak, who's for free, you want to be going for those burn strategies and pushing the benchmark of your capabilities on your accounts. Now, I could show that very same thing in the Fire Knight as well and stuff, but it's going to be a very similar theme. We're going to be controlling turn meter and we'll be doing a decent job there. One other place I wanted to show is if we go into the Sand Devil's Necropolis, stage 7, which is somewhere where I like to farm with a team like this. She does a phenomenal job with that damage output. So we're going to be placing the sleeps, drop defense and weaken from Rio Bone Spear. Lucky Shot doing 324,000 damage. Really, really good. Actually outperformed that Baron skill there. And boom, sit down, 13-second farm for stage 7 to get those lesser oils to do your ascensions on your artifacts. Really, really cool champion to implement into there. We'll go into the arena now. Let's have some fun with her. We got live arena as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to bring her in. She's just not tanky enough to fulfill what I wanted to do. Remember, guys, she is a very good counter to Rotos, but that all comes down to if that target that you're facing doesn't have crazy protection like Siphies and Stone Skin and Protection Gear, Ursica Warcallers, you name it. If he's got a lot of protection, you're going to have a hard time trying to get through that. But if you manage to go against a lesser opposition and you're progressing, you're definitely going to be able to bypass that passive with that triple hit to take down those enemies. We'll try and show it a little bit here with a team like this, something that I always like to use. We're going to reset the cooldowns, get a bit of sleep out. We got some... Oh, there we go. That's not nice. But we could actually maybe show the potential of this here. Boom. 52,000 damage. We ignore some of that shield. Pretty tanky champion there. We'll show some drop defense and stuff as well, which we haven't got in the team. Just trying to wear off their buffs a little bit because the A2 doesn't ignore those shield potentials. I will save this for one more turn. Oh, we do have the protection of Vogoth as well. That's probably why we couldn't get that one shot off. We'll go for an AoE now. Let's just see what we can do. Okay, we managed to kill one of them. We'll reset the cooldowns again. Just trying to keep them under control. Trying to keep them under control here. Get some sleep on. Increase attack. All right, so now is a good test here. Now is definitely a good test. Let's keep the turn meter down. Can we get through this Rotos of no drop defense or weaken? Here we go. So we would have, if we didn't have a Vogoth in the situation to mitigate the damage that was going on the boss, right? So that's a plus. You can see where the potential could come into fruition for many of your teams out there. That's what I really wanted to show. Vogoth just is a pain, man. Oh, we managed to kill him there. Nice. But we are going to die here, unfortunately. There we go. But hopefully we've seen some value there, which was what I wanted to show. Let's just try and find a more tanky team here. So there's a lot of shields in here, a lot of protection, and a Mortu Macabre. Can we one-shot the Duchess in the same composition? Oh my god, a lot of Stone Skin. Ooh, we tried to take it off. By the way, guys, did you see the What's Next in Raid video? I did a reaction to it for anybody that's interested. Can we one-shot her? Oh, very close. Very, very close. Damn, I'm shocked. This is not a pushover team. I can just tell with the way that they're built. They got Stone Skin everywhere and a lot of power going in. Let's get a reset. Maybe we could try. I don't really want to proc that. I want to try and just use an A3 to kill this entire team in this composition. Let's get some block. Oh, debuff blocked. No, that's not nice. That's not nice. We might just have to go over AoE. That's fine. We've got some protection on. Let's reset their cooldowns. Can we still come through this? Sleep. Oh, we managed to get it on there. Perfect. That's perfect. Now, can we one-shot the Necrit, maybe? Nice. 77,000 damage. But we really need to keep this dude under control, guys. We need to keep him under control. I should have probably done the turn meter reduction. Right, there's the extra damage. Are we going to get another turn in here? Oh, we are. Let's go for an AoE. Ooh. A lot of damage coming out there. I think we still will be able to finish up. But we did some decent damage all around the board. Let's go. Let's just do some A1s until it's finished. Oh, we got a lot of heals. We need to get some poison damage on. Let's reset the cooldown so that he doesn't get a shield. Let's just keep doing poisons. Poisons, poisons, poisons. You're not telling me it down. He can only A1. But he's healing by a lot of values, man. Are we going to be able to do this? Just have to keep stacking them up, right? So we're dealing more damage than he's able to do. There's some more poisons. Was he in like triple immortal or something? Keep them coming. More. Keep them coming. More poisons. More. Oh, we nearly had it. We nearly had it. We'll get him on this next one. There we go. So not a pushover team, dealing a bunch of damage, 350,000 all around the board. You've seen all of those snipes on those Duchess, those Necrets, those Mortimer Craps, and put in a lot of work for her team, right? Very surprised me there. I didn't think she would be able to go through those capabilities against such a tanky team. All right, we need to try someone that we can actually outspeed now and see if we can just go through an AoE nuke and push our potential to the limit. Let's go for a traditional comp, something like this. Unfortunately, my Arbiter is not the fastest in the world, so getting outspared is probably not a hard thing for my team anyway. Get a bit of sleep on. Ooh, we didn't get it on. Okay. Who should we nuke here? Let's nuke him. Boom. 180,000 damage. Oh my god. Let's go, man. Let's get a reset in. Can we fear her a little bit? We did. Please proc it. Oh, we didn't proc it. That's fine. Increase attack. Let's go for an AoE nuke now. You still got to drop the fence up, but we got the passive. Nice. Sitting them down. Beautiful. This is the thing, like being Void Affinity, she's got those advantages, but as you see there, we're getting nuked by all of those targets being the least mitigated on our team. Once again, pumping out 250k around the board. Can we find someone else we can outspeed? This could be a good one, I guess, but it'll come down to the rotos getting cleansed. Ooh, Helicaf team. Perfect example. Sorry guys, I really love to show the fundamentals of champions, not just their damage. So you can see all of the ways that you can use these champions to your advantage. So let's just say Helicaf was to put up that block damage, right? It's a nuisance. What we're going to do is first, actually, we're going to kill her. We never managed to. Unfortunately. I think there's a reaction proc there. Was there? I'm not too sure. Maybe we can go in for a round 2. Was there a reaction proc on that Raglan? Let's put in my other team so we can lock out a bit of their skills and have some revives in there. As we're just going to get one-shotted from the team that I've currently got that in. So let's just reset them. We don't want them to do anything. But let's just say that that Helicaf managed to come through. They put the block damage up. And you really want to go through and snipe those opponents. You would be able to with somebody like her, right? Let's go. Boom. We ignored the shield. 115,000 damage on that Trunder there. Increase attack. We'll keep this on for now. Let's get some more of that Hex up. Keep up as on as many targets as possible. I'm just going for another nuke. Alright, so it was definitely a reaction proc in that first one because we went through that this time without drop defense on. So, very interesting. We'll go for another reset and try snipe again. Put some sleep on. Let's go. Boom. Sniping for everybody here. Alright, let's just let her do what she wants to do now. Hands off the keyboard. Nice. Managed to sit down there. And the final hit coming out from Miss Lua. Come on. Nice. There we go. 58,000 on the A1. Pretty decent. Alright, so the last team we're going to face is going to be this Bad El Khazar. If Rala Life being combo with the Duchess. Place asleep. Oh, we're going to get a cleanse on though. We are going to get a cleanse on from the... Ooh. Let's go for a one shot. Bow. 140k. Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Take some of those continual... Ooh, no. Maybe we should have gone in with the AoE. Try that one more time. Sleep. We got on everyone this time. Beautiful. So he can't cleanse even if he wanted to. So we might be able to cycle our skills. Shall we get away with it? I don't know. I don't know. Shall we risk it? Or shall we just go for the AoE? Nah, let's do it. Yes, we got the one shot. Beautiful. Let's go. Managed to get through a relatively tanky team, right? Maybe something you're seeing when you're progressing that might be tedious. She came through and just whopped them down. So before, just to wrap up the video, I guess, let's go into the Doomtower secret rooms. This is a team I was using yesterday for the Dark Elves only, and you can really see where she can come into fruition to deal a bunch of damage on these waves. You're going to see it here. 3, 2, 1. Lua nukes, take down those waves. 120,000 around the board, dealing a bunch of damage. So yeah guys, that is going to be all for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on Lua. My final thoughts is she's got a good damage potential. Granted, she has to be in the right scenario because she's very squishy, right? You've seen it in a bunch of those arena teams there. But in terms of actual raw damage output on paper, she's definitely up there with those Nagorios, those Magnars, and some of the best in the game if purely damage is what you're after. But can definitely have versatile value like I mentioned before. Doesn't just have to be a nuker. The Dark Fae, the Faction Wars, the Fire Knight has a lot of progression value and definitely worth the 6-star in my personal opinion if these are the kind of things that you're looking for. Have an amazing rest of your day, guys, and I can't wait to do episode 4 of this series, and I'll catch you guys on a video soon. Peace.